Could the age and mental sharpness of our leaders become the next major election battleground? With a pivotal election on the horizon, one former president is throwing down a gauntlet, demanding that all future candidates for president and vice president undergo a rigorous cognitive examination. Before we continue, if you want to stay on top of everything happening in US politics, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It really helps this channel grow. Donald Trump, just weeks before his 80th birthday, has launched a blistering offensive against his critics, specifically targeting Democrats, whom he's now repeatedly calling Dumocrats. This isn't just a casual jab, it's a strategic move to preemptively counter any concerns about his own fitness for office, while simultaneously casting a shadow over his political opponents. He took to his Truth Social platform to declare that all people running for president and vice president should be forced to take high-difficulty cognitive tests. And he didn't stop there, urging Congress and the Democrats to demand it. This push comes as Trump himself is set to become one of the oldest presidents ever to serve, a distinction he'll share with Joe Biden, who was the oldest president in U.S. history at 82 when he left office in January of 2025. Trump, clearly aiming to contrast his perceived vitality with that of his rivals, is doubling down on his claims of superior mental acuity. He's long touted his performance on cognitive tests, making it a recurring theme at his rallies, and presenting it as a stark contrast to President Biden, whose mental faculties have been a frequent target of political attacks. Recently, Trump's physical examination results from Walter Reed Military Medical Center were released. The memorandum, signed by Captain Sean P. Barbabella, the physician to the president, detailed an examination conducted on May 26. This wasn't a quick checkup, it involved comprehensive diagnostic studies, laboratory testing over the past year, and consultations with 22 different specialty providers. The physician's summary painted a glowing picture. Trump remains in excellent health, with strong cardiac, pulmonary, neurological, and overall physical function. His cognitive and physical performance? Described as excellent, and he was declared fully fit to carry out all duties of the Commander-in-Chief and Head of State. The report even noted his demanding schedule supports his well-being. But the real headline grabber, of course, is the cognitive assessment. Trump completed the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, or MoCA, and achieved a perfect score of 30 out of 30. He proudly declared this his fourth such test, all yielding perfect scores, equating to 120 correct answers out of 120 questions asked. He emphasized how rare such a feat is, especially when achieved consecutively. The report also confirmed normal screenings for depression and anxiety. Minor details like slight lower leg swelling and bruising on the backs of his hands attributed to frequent handshaking and aspirin use were noted but deemed common and benign. His lab results, including cholesterol, glucose, and PSA, were all within normal ranges. So, what does this all mean? Trump's call for mandatory cognitive tests is a clear attempt to weaponize the issue of age and mental fitness against his political opponents, particularly Democrats. By highlighting his own perfect scores, he's trying to create a narrative where he is the sharp, capable candidate, while others are not. This directly challenges the mental acuity of President Biden, who has faced similar scrutiny. The implications are significant. If such a policy were ever enacted, it could fundamentally alter the presidential nomination and election process. It raises questions about who would design and administer these tests, ensuring they are truly objective and not politically biased. Would it be an independent medical body, or a government agency? What constitutes a high-difficulty test, and how would it be standardized? For voters, this could become another critical factor in their decision-making. Beyond policy and experience, they might now be asked to consider a candidate's performance on a specific cognitive exam. This could lead to a greater focus on the health and age of candidates, potentially overshadowing other important issues. The Democrats, as Trump calls them, are likely to push back hard. They might argue that this is a divisive tactic, a distraction from substantive policy debates, and a form of age discrimination. They could also point to the fact that many other demanding professions require extensive medical and psychological evaluations, but a standardized cognitive test for political candidates is unprecedented. Ultimately, Trump's demand forces a conversation about what qualities are truly essential for the presidency in the 21st century. Is it solely about policy and political experience, or does a certain level of cognitive function, demonstrably proven through testing, become a non-negotiable requirement? This is a debate that is likely to intensify as the election cycle progresses. So what do you think about this? Should all presidential and vice presidential candidates be required to take a cognitive exam? Drop your opinion in the comments below. I read every single one. This is a developing story, and the political landscape is constantly shifting. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll continue to bring you the analysis you need.